you've had such a spectacular career for somebody so young. Reading your resume is exhausting. You know, big hit. You started your own theater company. You adapted, directed, starred in Henry V. Now you've got this movie. Do you know where that ambition comes from, that drive that you seem to have to just grab hold of stuff?
Well, it's enthusiasm, you know. I hadn't planned to set out and do a Hollywood picture, for instance. It seemed to me I couldn't imagine it happening in one sense. That's not, and that's the truth. This came along, and I couldn't put it down. I loved the script. I thought it was a fine piece of writing. If they wanted me to do it, I really wanted to do it. And I could see a way of doing it. But that could as easily have not happened, or it could as easily have happened with a film that came to me from, I don't know, Norway or something, you know, with a great Norwegian part, and me not being in it. And I wouldn't have, if this had just been a bunch of dollars and a vehicle that I didn't believe in, I wouldn't have done it. So it's, in that sense, you know, one's only been true to one's sense of what one feels passionately about in terms of the material.
Do you ever, though, frighten yourself in the sense that, again, you know, not to harp on your youth, but, you know, you've heard the endless comparisons to Olivier. You really have had a meteoric rise. You know, one has to keep taking risks, I guess, but it must be hard, no, to be in your position?
Yes and no. I mean, I've said before that this is that sense of what's happened to me and the discussion of it, such as it is, it feels as though it happens in another dimension. It's like talking about another creature who I read about sometimes in the papers or see on television, and it doesn't feel connected with the person who I am, who is not sitting thinking, oh, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, I've cracked that one, cracked that, but just that I'm still at the, you know, early stages of, for instance, knowing a little bit about film and stuff, and it's just that when I'm in trouble is when I don't feel enthusiasm for something. You know, there are endless numbers of plays, for instance, I'd love to do in the theatre. You know, people say, well, you know, what are your ambitions left in that way? Well, it's to get those plays right. I mean, for instance, I've been in Hamlet now 3 times, you know. An ambition of mine is to do it once really well, you know, and each time it's kind of got better. I'd like to do that again. But
I want to ask you a question about Emma Thompson, your wife. You're a wonderful on-screen couple. I mean, it's obvious that there's something very deep between you. How do you find that's a totally workable relationship? I mean, you're not worried about getting too locked in with, she was in Henry V with you, she's done a lot of other stuff with you?
Yeah, we won't do it forever. We haven't done, we've always done other things. And Emma's just been in a Merchant Ivory film with, indeed, Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter. And she's about to do another picture, I think. And we you know, won't necessarily work together. We've never set out to be some kind of showbiz couple or anything, but as a member of that little ensemble, larger ensemble now, because some American actors, I hope, are now part of it, she would always be someone I would want to work with again. But we'd stop the moment it started to get, you know, difficult because we were married. If we couldn't put it away at the end of the day, I for one, wouldn't be able to deal with it. But as it was, as an actress, as a supportive member of that collaborative process of trying to put a movie on, she was invaluable. And I would not have been able to make it on that level without her, aside from the fact that we had a pleasant home life. Just as an actress, she made the whole thing work.
When I look back on your career and the way you've just grabbed everything you wanted and done it and been successful, I mean, did you take a look at her across the set one day and said, thank you very much, you're for me? We had a slow burn in our relationship, and we had a nice professional thing going before the personal took over, which has stood us in good stead, I think. Yeah. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.